But I think overall, there's really nothing negative from a reaction channel checking out the video from any band whatsoever.
Even if it's a negative reaction, it's still publicity.
Welcome to another episode from Takedowns to Breakdowns with A&P. Today we're here to talk about reaction channels, good for metal, bad for metal. I've been seeing a lot of videos popping up recently on the YouTubes. Tank the Tech, Nick Nocturnal, Metal Burp, amongst many others, are giving their 2 cents on how they feel towards reaction channels in the metal community. Because there's been some comments from some key players out there saying that reaction channels are the scum of the earth, and I don't think they really realize the impact that reaction channels have on certain bands, and they don't really realize how many bands really appreciate reaction channels as a method of exposure and creating publicity for their bands. So, good for metal, bad for metal?
Good for metal. I mean, we're a reaction channel. I feel like it's an obvious...
We do more than just reactions.
But we do more than just reactions.
A lot more than just reactions.
We started with just reactions.
And that's still the core.
That's still the core of the channel, but we've branched out and we're doing more stuff. But I feel like it is good for metal. Our videos, we do a lot of, unknown bands that I think we're like the only channel that even check out their videos, and we like them. And that also, helps people who watch that video like, oh shit, I've never heard this band before, and they go check out the actual band and they buy their music. It really does help the smaller bands.
And it's free publicity.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's free publicity.
For the most part. I mean, if you're a smaller band and we don't like the song, then...
They still got people to watch them.
They also still got people.
And just because we didn't like them doesn't mean other people are not going to like them.
Exactly. There's no such thing as good
bad publicity.
Bad publicity. Yeah, that's the word.
So I was just going to say that in addition to what you added, I think you have to look at the channels depending on the content that they're offering, right? So if you're looking at the channel in general, the global community of reaction channels, I think they're good for metal. I'm with you, because there's really nothing bad that comes from somebody checking out a song and having other people check out that person checking out a song. Now, I think you should use your platform as a way to create awareness and make the community better. Don't just take from the community, give back to the community that potentially you're a part of. Now, I have some doubts about some channels if they even listen to metal music on their own time, but that's a different topic of discussion. If you're a part of this community, I think you have to give back to the community. And I can understand you doing big bands at the beginning of your channel in order to create a buzz and in order to bring viewership in. But I think once you establish yourself and you have a certain platform, I think you have to do a little bit more for the community that you're part of. And include some smaller bands. Yeah, include some smaller bands in your videos. Create some awareness for those bands that don't have the same reach. Sure, your video may not get the same kind of views that an Avenged Sevenfold or Metallica would get, but that's okay. If you're not really doing it for the views, if you're not really doing it for monetary reasons, that shouldn't really matter. Now, if it matters, then I think you're in it for the wrong reasons, but that's a different story altogether. But overall, I honestly don't get the gripe that people have with reaction channel. I mean, I can understand it's maybe lazy content. Yeah, I mean, I could see the point.
I could see that too, but I could also see some hate for the ones that pause every 3 seconds so they can monetize the video, because it does come off as like you're always trying to monetize the video, but when you pause the video like that, the person watching you, they can't get the full experience of the song unless you play it fully.
Well, especially if you're doing a song that it's underground and people don't know.
Yeah,
like, how the hell are you going to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing a song if you're doing Enter Sandman, you can break it as many times as you want. Everybody's heard that song. But if you're doing something...
If it's a new song...
If it's a new song, something that... But I feel the same way about any other art form. Would you pause a movie every 10 minutes to describe to people what you just saw in the movie? Or you would just watch the whole movie and then at the end of the movie, give your opinion if the movie is good or bad.
Yeah.
I think that's the right approach in all honesty. I mean, that's just my 2 cents. That's how I feel about it. I think that the reaction channels, I understand the hate that they get. I really do. It's not like I don't. I do. I understand that people say that, oh, you're making money off of musicians, or it's lazy content, it's shitty content.
We get that stuff.
But people don't understand that not every reaction channel out there is monetized. We're not monetized, for example. And like us, there's many others out there that make 0 cents off of YouTube, because when we use copyright material on a video, that video, the whole video, not just that portion, the whole video becomes monetized by the label. Now, We have partnerships with some of the labels that if we wanted them, they could drop that and we could monetize our videos. We've made a decision from the beginning never to monetize our videos, so it doesn't really make a difference. But that also gives us a little bit of wiggle room for us to have those smaller bands and give back to the community that we're a part of. I think that's so important.
It is.
You know, it's so important. I mean, we're here to discover music through that channel, and I think most reaction channels have that as their starting point. Along the lines, they may lose track of what they're doing or what their goal is, or their goals may change. Like us, we start with reaction videos, and we added album reviews and interviews and this and that.
Yeah.
So it's morphed. But I think overall, there's really nothing negative from a reaction channel checking out the video from any band whatsoever.
Even if it's a negative reaction, it's still publicity. So
yeah, even if the guy says, "Oh, this song sucks," you know, the band could still post or share that video. It's like, "Oh, look at this idiot, what they think about our song," and people will have a laugh at it and whatever. It's still publicity. So I honestly don't see anything negative. And what people don't understand is that a lot of labels and a lot of bands have realized that reaction channels are free publicity.
And they're a great way to get your music out there.
Exactly. And what they do is they allow you to use some of their more popular bands on your channel with a gateway that then you're going to check out some of their lesser known bands on your channel. So they see it as a marketing tool. They don't see it being negative. The bands don't see it as being negative, because trust me, if the labels and bands saw reaction channels as a negative product on YouTube or something that was hurting their bottom line, their pocket, or their image, they would shut everybody down in 1 second. 1 second. 3 strikes, you're out. They could shut everybody down. But they see the potential. More and more, when we started on YouTube doing reaction videos, there was more of a gap. There was more of a pit that separated the labels, bands, and the reaction channels. Reaction channels at that time were almost doing things illegally, without permission, using content without permission, that kind of stuff. Now the labels are reaching out to reaction channels. There's more of a partnership. They see the benefits. And I think the ecosystem, it's thriving.
Yeah, it feels like the community is thriving now because of it.
People also need to look at it from a different perspective. You may live in a town or you may live in a city where you have easily access to metal music concerts, or you have friends who listen to metal music, and you have your own little scene, you have your own little community. Not everybody has that possibility. Some people live in a rural area where there's no concerts, where there's not a big metal community, if any. So reaction channels have kind of become micro communities where people can come in, watch their favorite video, watch 2 guys watch their favorite video, and then create a discussion about the music in the comment section about that video. Something that without that reaction channel, without that specific community, they would never be able to do. They would feel very alienated from the rest of the world. So reaction channels are giving people this opportunity. Now you can make the argument, well, you can go into the band's video and comment there. It's not the same because there's not as much of a community. You know what I mean?
Plus, we also go into the comments of our videos.
Yeah, we talk back.
Yeah, and I like to see the comments of the smaller bands, because I like to see what other people think about it. Either, oh, I love this. I don't even know where these guys are from. I'm going to pick up their... Like, stuff like that makes me happy, because it shows that, like, we've created a fan there.
And I think it's all about this give and take. It's all about us exposing the band, giving a platform to the band. It's all about the fans to come in for us, to check out new bands with us. Almost like if they were our neighbors and I'm walking over to their house with a CD in my hand. Yeah. Hey, you guys gotta check out this band, put it on. They don't have that possibility. So reaction channels have really become the virtual community for metalheads to socialize with one another, to get to know one another, get to know the people who are hosting these channels, and then just have this sense of belonging to something. Everybody wants to belong to something. You want to feel like you're part of a much bigger picture, part of a much bigger group. So reaction channels have definitely given that to the metal community. And as far as bands and labels are concerned, free publicity. Who doesn't like free publicity? So I think there's a lot of myths. There's a lot of preconceived ideas about people on reaction channels making money off of the bands, using content illegally, and none of that is true. That's in your mind. That's what you perceive. That's what you think.
That's what I used to think.
That's what I used to think too, but it's not the case. It's not the case. Once you get to know how copyright works, how using content on YouTube works, how all of those mechanisms work, the partnerships that we have, not just us, but other reaction channels.
And then you realize that a lot of reaction channels just do this for the fun of it and do it for the community itself.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're doing it as a financial goal, like you have More power to you. I mean, I'm not judging. I honestly,
hate.
no hate from me whatsoever. If that's what your goal is, if that's what you want to do, I have no issues with it. It's not us. And I know, for example, Galactic Criminal does not monetize this channel either. So it's not for us. It's not our thing. We don't want to make money off of YouTube. We don't want to make money off of bands. This for us is a 100% hobby. If some people want to take it further and make a career out of it, people like Nick Nocturnal, for example, more power to them. I have nothing against that whatsoever, because at the end of the day, he deserves to get paid for the publicity that he's given. I mean, the guy has over 500,000 subscribers. Are you telling me that he's not opening doors for certain bands that without him, people would never even hear of?
Yeah.
So if he gets paid on the back end for the work that he does, nobody works for free. Nobody works for free.
I mean, we do, but...
No, we do, but I'm saying like the PR people that the bands hire to do, they get paid.
They get paid. Yeah.
The people at the venue get paid. The merch people get paid. It doesn't matter how big of a fan of the band you are. If you're traveling with a band selling their merch, you're getting paid. Everybody's getting paid. So why wouldn't these guys who have huge platforms, huge, I mean, 500,000 subscribers, that's massive. Why wouldn't they get paid for the work that they're doing? I don't see anything wrong with it whatsoever. As long as you're upfront about what you're doing, what your goals are, what you're trying to achieve, more power to you. You want to branch off into Twitch, do whatever. I just don't think that there's anything bad about it. There's nothing bad. It's not like a band is making $1 less because there's one more reaction channel. That's just my take.
Yeah, because the reaction channel is not a substitute for the actual song. That's also a thing.
No, the people just come there to just kind of socialize, watch the video and whatever.
But it's not a substitution.
Yeah, they're still gonna. They probably already watched the video on the band's channel anyways.
Exactly. They're just looking for the.
They're just looking for the camaraderie.
Exactly.
That's what they're looking for. That's what reaction channels are.
They want to see what everyone else thinks, and if they had the same, reaction to.
Yeah, they want to see if the person had the same experience listening to the song, what their thoughts are on that song, and like I said,
the same thoughts about the song.
Yeah, but like I said earlier, imagine you living in a town where you're the only person who listens to metal, and you listen to a song that you absolutely love, and you have nobody to talk to. But guess what? If you're part of a reaction channel community, you can go there, comment, people comment back, and then you start to see the same faces on every single video. You start to get to know people without really knowing them. I think it's a beautiful thing, honestly. I think it's a beautiful thing. And at the end of the day, if reaction channels are not for you, don't watch it. Nobody's forcing you to press play. Just move on. So that's my take on reaction channels personally. That's how I feel. I think they're good for metal.
I don't watch many, but...
I don't watch many either. I'm very picky.
I'm very picky with reaction channels. I don't watch many, but, I do see the good that they do in the community.
And the reaction channel community as a whole, people are really connected with one another. Like, we message each other, we help out each other whenever there's issues. Not to brag here, but, and I'm not going to say anybody's names, but I had a fellow reaction channel host who reached out to me because they got a copyright strike from a label that I have a close relationship with, and I was able to contact the label on his behalf, and the label removed the strike because of me, interacting with them and saying, hey, he's my friend, he's not doing anything, he's just promoting the band. Is there anything you guys can do? And they helped him out. Yeah. If I didn't intervene on his behalf, he would have gotten a copyright strike. And I think that's also part of the beauty of being in this community, is that we look after each other.
Yeah, it's a family. You're able to look after each other and help each other out.
100%. And I honestly don't feel like another channel is taking away our views. I don't care. I think
we just do it for the fun.
If the video got 2 views, I couldn't care less. Honestly,
if we cared about views that much, we wouldn't do the smaller bands.
True. And we do a lot of them.
And we do a lot. That's 50% of our, actually more than 50%.
More than 50% of our channel is like really small bands and stuff like that. Yeah, the Throwback Thursdays too. We wouldn't do a lot of that stuff. So for us, it's not really about the views, because we don't monetize, so we don't really care. For us, it's about just the experience, having fun watching videos, and then reading people's comments below the video and having fun and talking back. And
even reading the comments on these videos too.
Yeah, and it's just fun. It's just fun because you start to see the same names pop up all the time, and I feel like I know a lot of these people over the years, even though we've never really met. Some of them we meet when we go to shows and stuff like that back in the day, before the COVID, but it is what it is. So for us, I think it's fair to say that reaction channels are good for metal. What about you? What do you guys think? Reaction channels, good or bad? Hit us up in the comment section. We'll see you guys at the next video.
See ya.